We're hearing from one of the victims of former U.S. gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar and coach John Geddert.
Trinea Gonczar is a former gymnast and is one of the women who testified against Larry Nassar. Nassar is currently in prison for sexually abusing several young female athletes. John Geddert was head coach of the Olympic team in 2012. Geddert died by suicide last month. His body was found shortly after he had been charged with abusing gymnasts. Joining us now is a victim of Larry Nassar and a former gymnast. Trinea Gonczar gave an emotional testimony at the trial that left Mr. Nassar in tears. Trinea, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
How are you? I listened to just part of your testimony, a direct message to Mr. Nassar, and it was tough to listen to. We're now 3 years later from the trial. How are you doing?
I've come a long way. I'm definitely in a different space than I was 3 years ago. But every day is different. And obviously in the last couple of weeks, things have changed again, where things have gone a little bit backwards, but doing better. I'm definitely on the upswing of my journey. So I'm happy to be in that space at least.
In court, you said, quote, "It's time for me to stand up for these little girls and not stand behind you anymore," as you spoke directly to Larry Nassar. Mm-hmm. Over the last few years, how have you been able to use your past and your voice to help others with sexual assault?
Well, I now am the Director of Development at Avalon Healing Center, which is a completely comprehensive sexual assault program in the city of Detroit. And we see anyone from 2 weeks old to 104 years old. We support them in every possible way that we can. So I'm learning about sexual assault. I really only had my experience to reference. So, and I think that that's a really difficult field to be in for anyone that's in it. But the intentions of the people that are in it are to help someone else. And that's where I'm at in my journey. I really just want to make sure that nobody has to go through what I did in search of something like I did. So.
How powerful is that moment when you say you don't want anyone to go through what you did? Is that this moment of looking back at your past, not being afraid of it, staring into the future and knowing you can make a difference?
Yeah, I mean, it was a place that I didn't know what to do, where to go. Was there a place to go to? Where do we find them? How do we find someone that works with survivors of sexual assault? You know, there's a lot of organizations out there that deal with eating disorders or domestic violence or, drug abuse. And a lot of those have arms of sexual assault that they support survivors. But really, there wasn't a place that I could find or that I knew about that just supported survivors of sexual assault. And when I fell upon that and realized we have one in the city of Detroit, it was such a blessing for me. But then also the realization that if I didn't know about them, that others didn't know about them, and that it's kind of one of those diamond in the rough situations where everyone should know about them. So that's my goal now.
Trinea, when you think about the voiceless, where does your emotions lie?
I understand it. I recognize that there's a time and place for that, but I also want to be able to offer those voiceless to find their voice. It's a hard space.
I can't possibly imagine, because of everything that you've gone through, and I know that you're a lifelong gymnast, has your love of gymnastics changed?
Not of the sport itself, but the people who run it. So when I look at someone like Simone Biles, who's facing the Olympics at this very moment and doesn't have any sort of confidence in the organizations that are taking her to the Olympics, it's heartbreaking because she's really doing this alone and those athletes are doing this alone, and that's not how it should be. Should not be that way.
Trinea, if you had an opportunity right now for anyone across the globe who's watching this program, who's going through something that they're fearful of, that they don't believe they have a voice in, what would your direct advice be to them right now?
You're not alone, first and foremost. And if you tell someone and they don't believe you, tell the next person. If they don't believe you, tell the next person. If they don't believe you, tell the next person, because there will be somebody who will believe you and there will be somebody who will support you. And your time is coming to heal.